portal of the Treaty 2 territory. I want to welcome you to Coffee with the Knowledge Keepers. This morning we have an interview lined up with Sean Girk, who works with care and protection of the natural world circle. Sean does mapping, GPS. Sean works exclusively with Mr. Ron Missy Abbott, who is being a grandfather this morning. He's getting his day started as well, and so I say good morning to both gentlemen, and I'm going to bring them online very soon. But first, I want to wish you all a very good morning. It's so beautiful outside. No mai gongi zagam. I went out to where Tegnyanda Masai. Umash kuchisi obu. Makete wa bunganda ya maswete. Kajanda tayan when biaje to west. So I want to wish you all a very good morning. Bonjour, me jenako. Me jenako nagawuniskain. All right, well, Sean, we'll get Sean into the program here, bring him in, and then we'll talk about what type of work we're going to be undertaking starting next week. And Sean, I want to welcome you to the program. I'll bring you into the program now. Stand by. Bonjour.
Hi there.
Bonjour, Sean. How are you over there?
I have no sound, Coyote. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay, well, no sound. Can you hear me now, Sean?
I think I have my settings right.
It's trial and error, eh? Trial and error.
Just looking.
Trial and error. Well, at least we can have coffee together. At least that, have a coffee in the morning. Microphone has been changed. You are now streaming from your default microphone. It says on the top. Okay, let me switch that. I just can't hear you. Been through all the settings. All right, we're live on my end. I can hear you perfectly. Sean, we're going to have to postpone this interview. Sean, we are going to have to postpone this interview. No sound.
Oh, there, I got you now. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Very good. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you. Good morning. I thought we might have lost you there, Sean. Nice to see you this morning. Bonjour.
Yes.
Bonjour. Nice to see you this morning. Okay, so Sean, let's introduce you to our audience. We've got viewers who I told that we're gonna start bringing interviews in, Sean. And I says, all the people that I work with, that I'm presenting their material, will be coming on one at a time, perhaps two at a time. Sean, just a little bit about yourself. Bring it in as though I'm meeting you for the first time.
Okay, sure. My name's Sean Girk. I'm a member of the Manitoba House Local Nation, and Manitoba House is where T2 was signed originally. I grew up on the border of Manitoba and Northwest Territories, kind of in a Swiss Family Robinson type setting. My folks had a tourism facility up there, and so each summer we would head north into the unknown. And I grew up in a place where there were no cars, airplanes, boats, ATVs is how you got around, and it was great. I spent a lot of time with the Denny and Cree up there. And in the winters, we would head south, and so I would be home to really Reedy Creek or Kennesaw area, Manitoba House, as often as I could be. That's where the grandparents came from, and both sets of grandparents actually. So my whole family's based right in the middle of T2.
Wow, wow, Sean! I never knew that much about you when I met you at the government building. Sean, you and Mr. Ron Missy Abbott worked together. Tell us a little bit about the beginning when you first started, and then we'll lead up to where we are, and then where we're going to go in the future.
Sure. I was hired as part of a climate adaptation project. So the idea of that project is to document elder knowledge, um, specifically for in terms of surface water management um, around the communities. But we're also taking this opportunity to document other geographically related issues, such as you know important sites or just any history we can grab from them and get it in a geographical context. So once that part of the work is complete, um, we will eventually be modeling the entire community. By modeling, I mean we're going to be flying a drone over top of these communities. There's six of them, and we'll be building a 3D model that is accurate down to a couple of centimeters. So what we can do then is remove vegetation and remove houses and have a perfect picture of how water moves through the community. Based on that data, we may extend our survey beyond, and it's really in aid of trying to protect people and infrastructure from the effects of rapid climate change and flooding. So that's what I was hired to do. But I'm kind of a jack of all trades and master of nothing. But the GIS has been since I was a child. I grew up with a fascination for maps. I grew up in floodplains, as I was saying before, and back in those days, you got an floodplain, you put you along, and you kept track of the shapes of lakes and that out the window to keep your bearings, and of course you kept used your instruments too. But it wasn't. It was really a strange thing when GPS came along. The first one we bought was about $20,000, which was a tremendous amount of money at the time. But we put it in one aircraft just to try it out, and we realized very quickly that the efficiency and the safety factor was huge. It took a while to get used to it, but now you're going up in the air and you've got a bearing, and you can there's not much traffic up there, so you can pretty much fall asleep. But the savings is that you're not veering off course, you're not tipping to look out the window, this kind of thing. So that was kind of my introduction to GPS. Then several years later, I got involved in some mineral exploration work, and that involved actual land surveying using GPS technology. It's quite different from what we're used to on our phones or in our cars. Um, RTK, or real-time kinetic GPS surveying, involves uh, you see the guys along the side of the road, and they've got a long pole with an antenna on top, and they got a little computer, and they're taking measurements. That's the instruments used in GPS surveying. So back to GIS, which is supposed to be the focus. It all ties together so much. So GIS is geographical information systems. What it is, it's layers of data. One layer might be the terrain, like the height of the terrain or a topography. Another layer might be a forestry or a land use layer. Um, Yet another one might be infrastructure, wires above and underground. Basically, it's a way to have um, to organize geographical information so that the different systems or different objects that you're looking at could be compared and quantified. So GIS takes up most of my working hours. It's map making and it's a lot of fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
I lost your sound again.
Oh, I lost my sound again.
I can't hear you, Coyote.
Oh, geez. I'm so sorry, man. I don't know how to. I don't know how to address that issue. Here's what we'll do. I'll communicate with you through this one here. Sorry. Keep keep going and finish this one for us.
Okay, I'll keep talking. If I get too long winded, because I often do, let me know. So, um, everybody uses GIS every day, just about. It's in your pocket. It's on your computer. The most basic form of it would be like Google Earth. So I think everybody understands on a day-to-day basis how helpful it is. But in an organization that has to deal with a lot of land and a lot of population, um, you can keep track of just about anything. Um, the project that I started doing, actually that I completed first for T2, was agriculture land use uh, assessment. So I took a data set that was developed externally. I believe it's a federal government data set, but what it is it looks like almost like a topography, but it uses um, 8 different reasons for land being good or not good for agriculture, and it assigns a value within these topographic type lines as to suitability for agriculture. So we we're able to compare Treaty Two's land against the rest of Western Canada, but more importantly, we're able to compare the land that was allocated for reserves against all of T2 territory. So um, the idea being that we wanted to find out how reserve lands uh, compared in quality to the rest of T2. Big surprise, right? Everything that we always knew is true. The land that the reserves are on is significantly uh, of lower value than the rest of T2. And given that we were promised in the treaty prime agricultural land, um, we're now able to prove using the government's own data that that's not true. We weren't given the quality of lands that we need. So it's one thing when everybody talks about stuff like that, but when you're dealing with the federal government or most organizations, they want hard science, right? So that was an interesting project, and I still have a little bit to do on that one. I wish I could show you guys because it's hard to talk about maps without any maps to show. But once we get technology worked out here, I'll come and do another segment and I'll show you some of the maps I'm making. So um, I guess moving forward, we will be in the community and looking for folks who will help. I was talking about that climate change project, and that one there is gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna be training people in GIS. We're gonna be training people in operating uh, actual drones. I'm a commercial pilot, so I'll be doing some training. Yeah, that's about where I am with the GIS work that I've been doing lately.
Oh,
Um, I guess one more thing I'll just mention. Um, through all of this, I've been developing different layers for an online atlas. What the online atlas will do is it'll allow um, citizens or government to access different layers of geographical data. Things like municipal boundaries, watershed boundaries, watershed district boundaries, um, about hunting areas, um, indigenous or the residential school sites, crown lands, parks, just about just about anything you think, and it'll be going live in. I'm hoping to have it done in about 2 weeks, but it'll be constantly evolving. Of course, everybody thinks of the Earth as kind of as a unchanging, static thing, but it's just not. And I'll be updating our GIS system as we go along.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Coyote.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Sure wish I could hear.
We did it. Thank you. It's completed. All right.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank
See you
you.
again.
See you again. All right. Thank you for listening. We had an interview with Mr. Sean Gert, Care and Protection of the Natural World. Sean is works in GPS, and he's doing land studies. He's doing agricultural studies. He's already done that, and he's on his way to completing that, I do believe. Comparing comparing the land from our nations to the promise that was made. It will give you good land, Guinea woman, Anisha. You'll have the best land around, agricultural land, and so Sean is disproving that with his study, and Mr. Ron Missiabit Gewin Mai, Wheat Nukiman, and they're doing the hard science work to disprove the fact that we did not receive uh, prime agricultural land as promised. I feel fabulous that we had our first interview minus technical glitch, not being able to hear one another. That's not really a big issue this morning. What's really counts here today is that we have the participation and the collaboration of our entire team, and we're embarking on a massive undertaking to move our generation of people, Anishinaabemowin, to move all of us forward in life and make a better future so that the future generations have a better start than we did. All right. Well, I want to say good morning. Minugi Gijeb. Ni Joganidug, Dinama Ganidug. You know, Thomas, we'll have more information with Sean's project, and Sean, here's the website that you could go to, FNT2. You could go to this one. Let me put up the website here for you. FNT2T.com. Go there and you'll find out a lot more about Sean's project, and we can get you in touch with Sean. You have a lot in common, both of you. You both work in that territory and have a good understanding of what you can contribute. There's another website I want to share with you here, moccassintrailnews.com. The second website you can go to, Thomas, is this one right here. Once it pops up, I'll show it. Moccasin Trail News. Mimaija can go right there to read more about our government, First Nations and Treaty 2 territory. Uh-huh. Okay, and then Thomas, I'm going to give you his phone number. Okay, here it comes, Thomas. I'm going to line you up direct with, hook you up to Sean Girk. I can call him right there to his phone number this morning. He's awake. He's at home. He's awake and he's at home. I can call him right there. All right. Okay, we had an interview with Mr. Sean Girk, the Care and Protection of the Natural World for the First Nations in Treaty 2 territory was our interview this morning. Well done, Sean. Thank you, Nijogan. Thank you for lending your support here and establishing a process. Now everyone sees that this is how we're going to be doing our interviews. Okay, here we go. Want to thank you once again for tuning in to Moccasin Trail News Live here with me, Corey the Coyote Whitford. Today is January the 8th, 2021. You're watching the morning broadcast called Coffee with the Knowledge Keepers. In fact, I think we have Sean coming in one more time. Sean, I see you coming in on your stream. Okay, thank you. Technology, eh? We're getting to know the technology. And this is how I felt when I first worked in a technological company, the NCI FM, being behind the board in the studio. Same feeling, same nervousness, just like my first day at the Royal Bank, training and cashing checks for people and making money orders. The same type of learning curve is occurring this week for me too. And so I want to thank everyone for coming in this morning. Thomas, this is a great opportunity to network with Mr. Sean Girk. I believe both of you could make some connections and ask each other questions and get some answers to some of your questions too. That's good to facilitate that type of networking here online, and I'm very grateful for that this morning. All right. Okay, so I want to wish you and everyone else, Leeson, good morning to you. I want to wish you a very good morning here. The fifth day, Friday. Beautiful day out there. I want to remind you, though, to stay safe. I know you've probably heard this a lot of times, but it's always good to remind once more, stay safe out there, wherever you go today. Okay. Mie etego menekwi kituano manongum on this program. Meno pinyap ngaje ye omaije at noon hour. No kwekishisek. And today we'll be reconvening with Circle Talks on Moccasin Trail News Live at noon hour. That's at 12 noon. And then at 3 this afternoon, we'll have the health and wellness program. And we have an interview that we're working on right now with Miss Karen Kijik. She will talk about her hunting, fishing, and trapping and gathering rights. Her inherent right to hunt, fish, trap, and gather traditional food. And then at 6 p.m., Anishinaabemowin here with me, Corey the Coyote. That'll be at 6 p.m. We're going to be doing a reading from, it's a continuation reading from book 9. And then I do believe we're doing an activity, Scrabble. We're going to do a few words, make some words out of the Scrabble board, the Scrabble game that exists. We'll extract all the letters that don't need to be there. And then that's the F, LVRQUX letters. We'll take them all out and then we'll make some words together. We'll make anin, buju, wisinin, miigwech, ahamsa. We'll make those words together today. Okay, so I want to thank you for tuning in. It's a beautiful morning out there. We're off to a very good start. So take care, and we'll see you again at noon hour. Thank you for watching.